Hi, everybody. My name is Audra, and um, I'm just going to tell you about my story. Um, I have a long story. I've always was a big kid growing up. I think I can remember that my first diet that I ever was on, I was in sixth grade, I think, around there. My mom was always trying to lose weight. Um, my dad had really good genes, I guess, because he and nobody in his family except his mom had issues with weight. So my dad, it was really easy. He would just say, we're from the South, so I was born there. My family came from the South, West Virginia, and Southern eating or Southern cooking and fitness don't really go hand in hand unless you have really good genes or awesome willpower. So we'd have biscuits and gravy, and everything that was cooked was fried, usually in bacon grease. Yum, yum. I cannot tell you how difficult it was to get away from having that jar of bacon grease in my refrigerator, because that's what we used for cooking all the time, because that's what my mom and dad had in our kitchen, in our refrigerator. So that's what I had in mine forever. It took for a long time to get rid of that. So I I grew up eating all the bad things, bacon and eggs fried in bacon grease, which is delicious, by the way. um, and I was always a big kid, so I got made fun of tremendously growing up. All the time, I was made fun of my weight, and my mom was always trying to lose weight. It was always an issue coming up in our family. Was like, well, what's a diet? What diet are you going to be on now? And my dad was not very supportive. I love him very much, but he wasn't the most supportive guy when it came to trying to lose weight. It was just like, just walk away from the table when you're a little bit hungry, was his idea of weight loss. So it was difficult. Like I said, my first diet, I think I was in sixth grade when that happened, and I had always had a large thyroid. Every time I went to the doctor for something or physical or whatever, they'd always, feel around your neck and, oh, your thyroid's large. Let's get some blood work on you and see if there's anything going on there. Never had an issue with blood work, at least as far as they always said, oh, your TSH levels are fine, so you just need to eat better and exercise. So that was my life growing up, pretty much, was, oh, your thyroid's fine, you need to eat right and exercise. So I found out years later, and I'll get to that, I was undiagnosed hypothyroid my entire life, and that could have helped a lot of things for me as an adult, growing and getting into being an adult, fertility issues and things like that. But I keep looking, I've got notes here because I don't want to forget anything. So fast forward sixth grade into my senior year, I was at Weight Watchers again with my mom, trying to lose weight. I lost 20 pounds. I was still big, but I was feeling better about myself. Got my first boyfriend, feeling, that I just felt better about myself a little bit. And then I went to college, and then the freshman 15 turned into, the freshman 20. And, you have food available to you all the time in the eating hall. So I ate, and I love to eat, and I love things like, nachos and sloppy burgers and French fries, and potato chips is my all time biggest trigger food, because I know every single potato chip. I don't even walk down the potato chip aisle anymore, because it's just such, I love trying potato chips. I used to joke that I never met a potato chip that I didn't like. But I always have had issues with eating, and I would eat a lot all the time. I even kind of became a closet eater, so to speak. If nobody saw me eat it, then it didn't happen. So, but miraculously, I just keep gaining weight and gaining weight and gaining weight. Fast forward to early 20s, I think I was 21, I found out I had polycystic ovaries, because I have always had pain, and awful, awful periods. Too much information, I'm sorry, but um, always had awful pain. So I finally found out that that was what the deal was. And then back then, what they did is they did surgery to correct it. And then I had issues with scar tissue, and it was I think I had 4 surgeries in 1 year. It was a bad year, and I was 21. So the only thing I knew, and the doctor at that time said, you know what, you're not trying to have a family right now, so let's just manage your symptoms. We'll put you on the pill. You don't have to deal with it until you're ready to start to have a family. I did not realize at the time that when I was diagnosed with polycystic ovaries, that it also messes with your metabolism. It doesn't. Polycystic ovaries and insulin resistance go hand in hand. I didn't know anything about that. I just knew that they give you this medicine that you take, and it's supposed to help you lose weight, and it's supposed to manage those symptoms, but I had no clue what was going on. I just knew that I had PCOS, and that was the way it was going to be. So my weight totally spiraled out of control at that time. It was 94, I think. And at my highest weight, I was 291. I never said that number out loud to anybody before, but it was the highest I've ever been, and I was also the lowest feeling that I've ever been in my life. So I finally decided, after I had some really good friends and lots of support from my friends, and I decided that I was gonna, do Weight Watchers again. Weight Watchers is a great plan. I'm not knocking Weight Watchers one bit. I've always been. Every time that I started to want to lose weight again, I would go back to Weight Watchers because I knew it worked and it helped me. It helped me eat. They changed their program so many times, over the years, that what helped me lose weight. And I actually lost almost 100 pounds in my 20s when I did Weight Watchers. I was exercising. I was getting out more. I was doing things with my friends. I was eating right, and things were going well for me. And then I went back to college. I decided that I wanted to go to school to be a dentist. So I did undergrad for dentistry, and I went to an irregular schedule. I wasn't working my normal routine of schedule, which was really easy to help me lose weight then because I knew exactly what I was going to be eating. I could schedule my workouts. I could do, all of those things and keep it under control. When I went back to college, I worked mostly full time the whole time that I was going to college. And then I worked part-time on top of that. So I was going to college, I was working full-time, I was going to college full-time and had another part-time job. I was burnt out. So I had an irregular eating schedule. I didn't exercise at all because I was exhausted. And I slowly slid back into eating those awful foods that turned me back into gaining most of the weight that I had lost back. So that was a really awful feeling at the time, and I just wanted to get back to normal life. So I met my husband and we got married, and then here's where the PCOS comes into play again. I knew that losing weight would help me get pregnant. I wanted to get pregnant. We were trying it ended up to be like 9 years that we tried to get pregnant. Got pregnant once, I miscarried. All the while thinking that PCOS was the biggest deal. But I had undiagnosed hypothyroidism, which screwed me, metabolically. I also had PCOS, which screwed with me metabolically. And then towards the end of our fertility treatments, I found out I had stage 4 endometriosis. So all of those things right there were cards stacked against me for having a biological child. And even though, I was trying to lose weight, I was working with an excellent fertility specialist, and he is still one of my favorite doctors. I love him to pieces. But he's like, I think we can really do this. Let's stop it all. So let's stop everything hormonally so we can start you again. We'll do IVF. And by that time that we did everything, my ovaries were just so damaged from endometriosis that it just wasn't working out. So fast forward to after 10 years of trying to get pregnant, I had to have a hysterectomy. So at 38, I had a complete hysterectomy. So we've got, PCOS, even though my ovaries aren't there, PCOS is still an issue. I have undiagnosed hypothyroid. I have endometriosis, and now I've had a complete hysterectomy by the age of 38. So talk about throwing your whole metabolic, your endocrine system, everything just screwed up. Right, it came to a standstill. There was no way that I was going to, no matter what I did, lose weight. And before I got a hysterectomy, I had my thyroid removed because it was so large. I had a multinodular goiter. but my levels were still fine. So, it was okay. But not bitter at all, but I had my thyroid removed. I had a hysterectomy. I had endometriosis, PCOS, and all of these things hormonally working against me. And I did my own research. I finally found a doctor that was an integrative medicine doctor, and he helped me feel the best that I've ever felt in my life. And he looked at other things other than my TSH levels and showed me, hey, all of these things, your awful periods that you had since you started them at the age of 9, inability to lose weight, your horrible endometriosis, all of these things come from have a huge thyroid plays a huge part in that. So had I known, what I knew then, way back then, farther back then, I a lot of things in my life would have been different. But ask me now if I would change a thing. And yeah, I would love to not have had any of the heartache that I had doing all of this, and going through the fertility treatments and everything that I did. But I also see them as blessings, because I wouldn't be where I am today. I have a beautiful son who is 5. He'll be 6 in December, and we adopted him. So I got to be present when he was born. I was there. I mean, I forget that I didn't have him because I was there. I was the first one to hold him. I watched him be born. So it was like I was experiencing all of that myself, but I didn't actually carry him as a baby. And I thought, after seeing all that childbirth stuff, wow, I'm glad I really didn't have to go through that. But so I have a beautiful son, and I've still battled weight issues this entire time. Now, when my son was born, I had my hysterectomy 4 weeks after he was born. So I started all this bigger journey of hormone issues, lack of hormone issues, weight still spiraling out of control. I never got back to my highest weight, thank God. But I still weighed more than what I had, and it was awful. My energy was low. I had adrenal insufficiency on top of all that, or my body being stressed my whole life from dieting all the time, from being undiagnosed why can't I say that? Undiagnosed hypothyroid puts a huge stress on your body. So my adrenals are giving out. They're like, I'm done throwing in the cards, not helping you deal with your stress anymore. It's just going to take you down. So, feeling those days where I felt like I just did not want to get out of bed, and literally I lost weekends to the fact I would stay in bed the whole weekend because I had no energy to make myself move. And that's awful. This was even before, I just turned 40, shortly after 40, and I felt like I was an 80-year-old woman. And I didn't want to be that way, but I just I resigned myself to thinking that this was the way it was going to be, because I'm screwed pretty much. I'm going to have to deal with this. I just have to figure out how to pick up and go on and do what I need to barely do to get by every day. And my clarity of thinking is gone. I forget things. I can't remember to do important things. It's pretty much the point where I need to write every single thing down, because I can't get through the day with just remembering things on my own. Unless they're things automatic, get your kid up, get him ready for school, get him going to bed, go to work, do your job, come home, get dinner. Sorry. Get dinner ready for everyone, all of the things that we as busy moms have to do. So I just keep eating. And eating at the time made me feel good. It made me feel good. I comforted myself with food. So I'm an emotional eater. I eat when I'm happy, when I'm sad, when I'm, feeling great, when it's like, oh, hey, I'm feeling great. Let me eat something that's going to make me feel greater. Well, it doesn't. I mean, it does for a minute, but then there's the guilt that sets in. The guilt that, oh my gosh, I can't believe I ate that. And now I feel awful. So it's like, oh, I'll start on Monday. Monday has been my start date for diets always. And I think it's pretty much everybody's too. But then by Thursday, I would feel great. And then Friday comes along and it's like, oh, I'll just eat like normal. And then by the time Monday comes around again, oh, I got to start my diet again. Start eating right. So it's like up, down, up, down, up, down all the time. So what has changed? What has changed for me? Well, I started a a Beachbody Challenge group with one of my good friends who's my coach. And I had done it last year, and I lost 10 pounds, and I thought, oh, I felt great. And then I slowly started going back into my same things that I did before. And then up came the weight again, and plus a few extras. And then I did another challenge, and then I fell off the face of the earth for the challenge group. I started, and then I was making excuses. I'm like, oh, I'm just too tired. I can't. I'm just going to play with Fisher. That'll be my exercise. It was not working for me at all. All the while, I had aches and pains. My knees hurt. My back hurt. My head, I had migraine issues all the time. And it was just excuse after excuse after excuse. So this last challenge that I did with her was a size challenge. When size came out, it's a Shanti program through Beachbody, and I fell in love with it because it was so fun. And I love dancing, and I looked forward to exercising every day. And I was eating good, well, and I after a week or two, I think, I thought, oh my gosh, I feel really good. I felt better now than I felt in a really long time. What have I done differently? My thyroid is more under control. I'm eating clean, whole foods. I'm exercising every day, which who would have thought in a million years that would be me exercising every single day? I was so excited that I said, oh my God, this is it. All of this time that I've been waiting to get motivation, to get, the little fairy dust sprinkled on me that says, hey, you're going to be motivated today, and you're going to stay that way, and it's going to work for you this time. I'd been waiting for that forever. Why wasn't it as easy as it was in my 20s when I tried to do it? Well, I didn't have all of those issues that I have today. So I have to work a little bit harder. So I decided that I'm not going to sit around and wait to be motivated anymore. And I've said this before. I can make myself motivated. I can make it happen for myself. I'm not going to be a victim anymore of the awful voices in my head. I started thinking that that I'm going to start talking nicer to myself. I'm going to be nicer to myself. I'm going to help. I'm going to say, you know what? I can do this. I can be awesome at this. I'm tired of letting myself down. I'm tired of, reaching every goal professionally. Every, things that I've done, every challenge that I meet at work, I meet that challenge and I do one better. And I try to do the best that I can do in every other area of my life. Why can't I do this? So I decided, and I made a decision that I was going to be a Beachbody coach. And what the heck is a Beachbody coach? Well, that's a whole nother video. But Beachbody has seriously changed my life. I've decided to make the necessary changes that I need to make in my life, to be around for my son, to be around for my husband, to maybe live past the time that I thought that I was going to die originally, which, you never know. Any day, you could die tomorrow. You wouldn't know. But I want to make the best of what time I've got left. And I'm not going to sit here and think, you know what? It's just not going to happen for me. I'm not going to be one of those people that lives for very long. I'm just going to, like my retirement plan is I'm going to die. I'm not going to make it much past being retirement age anyway. So I'm not even going to be able to work to retirement age because I can barely move now. My skin hurts to even touch it. Are you kidding me? Well, I'm sorry, I got something wrong with my nose. But I'm here to tell you that I am a changed person, and I know that everybody that has seen me blast them up on Facebook with all the positive and everything, I truly mean it. I am not just going to sit here for I've been doing this for 12 weeks now, and I feel better than I've felt in a really long time, and I want to help people do that too, because I know how hard it is to have all of these diagnoses against you. And I forgot to tell you, on top of that, I had a pituitary tumor diagnosed 2 years ago, which is drowning out any other type of hormone that I could possibly get in my body. So if you want to see, my endocrine system sucks. And I'm going to get better and feel better and look better and be better, because I'm not going to let that be my thing that keeps me down anymore. And I know this video is like super long, but I told you I had a really long story. Shorts, long story, even longer. I have a lot of hormone issues, a lot of other issues, but I'm not letting that define me anymore. And I am going to be strong. I want to help other people do this because I know how tough it is. I've lived with it my whole life. As my dog is like bouncing up against me. I have lived with it my whole life. And anybody who knows how it feels to feel like that, I want to help you. I didn't think I was going to be getting emotional, but seriously, I know that it can be different for you. And I want to help you do that. So if you want to join me on my journey, I would be so pleased to help you in any way that I possibly can. You can contact me, at audrainmotion@gmail.com. You can check out my Facebook page at facebook.com/audrainmotion. And I'm going to put this video up on YouTube, and I hope that it helps so many people. And I look forward to helping you. So if you need help, if you want help, or if you just want to talk to somebody and get some ideas on what to do if you have the same issues, please just let me know. I would love to help change your life and help you feel as great as I do. So thank you so much for watching this incredibly lengthy video. And I hope to talk to you soon. Thank you.